That's right, we just came from a little bit of an extended game one. I think we were thinking that both teams actually had a chance to close out at different times in the game, but nevertheless, BKT were able to pick that up for themselves rather, off the back of some good, strange initiations from G4 in the sense that he initiated and I think 269, kind of panicked a little bit, threw a few too many crucial team fighting spells his way, juked them out very nicely with his Spirit Rush, with his Zhonya's, and that gave 269, or that gave BKT rather, the opening they needed to crack the second inhibitor and then the Nexus straight after that. Let's see whether or not 269 actually shake up their ban. So far it looks like not so much. I mean, G4, sure, he didn't have the most stellar, individual performance, but it is something to take note of. Most teams which have found success against BKT have either banned G4 completely, banned him out completely, or kept him under control more so in the game itself.
So Xerath, Rexa, and LeBlanc will be the 3 bans coming from Bangkok Titans, and 269 responding with Zed, Jarvan, and Morgana of their own. So there are around 6 bans coming in. Now Bangkok Titans, they're on the blue side. They will have the priority of the first pick for themselves this time, and they're going to be locking the Maokai right off the bat. I mean, we see some other teams that prefer to go for Lissandra, or perhaps another
Hecarim.
Flex picks in those places, but Warlock, he likes to play his utility top laners. We see him play Lulu, we see him play Maokai, and these are his preferred champions of choice. Now we see 269, what are they going to respond to it with? Hecarim, definitely possible as well. So Hecarim, Rengar, that might lead into a Lulu Silver type of composition where you just press N for Nitro, have your whole team run at your opponent's type of team combo.
Yeah, if they have a Sivir in there, that could be really, really fun. And of course, Hecarim against Maokai, both bring a whole bunch of team fighting, utility, as well as just the insane power levels that Hecarim can reach once he gets, say, Home Guard's TP. I do like the first pickup of the Maokai for BKT. Again, they just look so much better as a team, when they team fight, as teams do when they team fight, but when it's the individual plays, we've seen a lot of mechanical errors, kind of when Warlock goes crazy on his own, in 007X, so really, when BKT pick and play as a team, they look the sharpest.
Let's see what they will be going for here. Pick composition definitely available for themselves as well. They see the Rengar, they see the Hecarim. I'm not too sure if Victor will be a good pick over here. Usually you want a mid laner with a little bit more control of the game, perhaps a Zone Mage in the form of Orianna, maybe even the Anivia, sorry, in this case. Might be pretty good over here, but those are some of the less conventional picks in the meta. Currently, most of the champions have been banned out already. Xerath, LeBlanc, Zed all being taken out. Those are 2 major assassins and 1 major mage.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just gonna leave the last pick for G4 all the way to the end and then just get the Cassiopeia pickup for him, because if BKT or if 269 tunnel a bit too hard into a run straight at you composition with the likes of Rengar and Hecarim already in there, the Cassiopeia pick, as G4 has shown, he has a lot of competency on that. And that could definitely turn the tides. There's the Sivir that, is a very, very strong pick for them. Would help to get the Annie into the mix as well. This is looking to be a very, very kind of just go for your face team comp of 269 right here, if they do pick up the Annie.
I think it is very possible that if 269 choose to lock these 2 champions, then BKT might just go for the Ahri once again.
Yep.
G4 had some flashes of brilliance with the Ahri and very good understanding of the champion, as he showed us in the previous game, kind of single-handedly carrying BKT through those team fights, and it is going to be the Annie and Sivir being locked in by 269. I mean, once again, BKT, lots of pick options available for themselves. The Nunu being selected over here, not sure if that will be locked in. Nunu and Graves, not really the best kind of combination that you want. Usually you want Nunu with, say, another champion that scales really well with XP. Maybe a Jinx, Caitlyn, Vayne.
Yeah,
we'll bring over the Ahri now, so that's definitely a possibility.
Quite interesting what exactly is left on the champion pools for the junglers. I mean, Sejuani honestly works, I have to say, for 007X in the sense that team fighting again, just land that massive AoE and then go in there with the Sejuani, but they're really taking their time with this. Lee Sin would, help get their lanes rolling. I mean, definitely there's a lot of lockdown both with Maokai, Ahri, and even Graves with the burst. Wow, okay. This is interesting. Alright. Pantheon going to be locked in along with the Ari. So yes, G4 back on the Ari, feeling confident after quite a solid performance in game number 1. Will it be that Lissandra?
I think Lissandra will be an easy pickup for 269 over here. Just go for the pick, go for a very strong team fighting composition on this side in this case. And Bangkok Titans, once again, they're going for pick compositions as well. So with both of these two teams playing pick compositions, I have to feel 269 they have a slight edge in the overall team composition because they have the Wrangler. His ultimate is going to be able to spot out multiple members of BKT. You have the Lissandra, whose ultimate serves as a very strong disengage as well as an engage too, being able to lock someone down and have the entire area around her, which is so difficult to approach. And Silver for the ultimate with the spell shoes, and any kind of a big option as well. And on the side, Bangkok Titans, they have the Pantheon. They can open up for some very interesting man drops for themselves. They have the Ari with the Charm, very standard, 2 picks, 1 disengage, and the jungler for the damage in this case. It's a very conventional pick composition coming from Bangkok Titans, but I have to feel that the power picks are in the hands of 269 in this case. But in any case, when it comes to pick composition versus pick composition, it's going to be all about who has got a better understanding of the vision game. And I have to criticize BKT for the previous game. The Oracle's Lens, we never saw it. And when you're playing a pick composition, you got to get the Oracle's Lens and clear out the vision so that you can sweep out all the stray wards and all the random wards your opponent decides to drop down in response to your pick composition.
Yeah, I really have to say that, again, this Pantheon has just found its way time and time again into the GPO, and teams have honestly just used it kind of to layer the team fight a bit more, I think we can say. After the initial breaking out of the initiation, it's usually so sloppy, it's not very crisp that nobody really dies in the first few seconds, and then Pantheon has this window, or exploits that window, where nobody has died even after the initial initiation, and then gets in there with his ultimate. And that's something that BKT could use, in that timing where either if King JJ goes in alone, or Heaven, or even Sir on his Annie. I mean, because that's something we saw that BKT had a little signs of, this desynchronization in the past team fights in game number 1. And those were the ones that they lost, where Warlock was like, alright, I'm going to go in solo. And nobody's there with him. It's out of sync. G4's too far behind. Lloyd has the Valkyrie in. Those are the team fights which, were very split, very disjoint, which BKT kind of fell apart in.
I mean, this game there isn't a Poppy to worry about, so that Monsoon will be getting a lot more value for Valen in this case. But here's why I like the Pantheon pick for 007X, because when you are up against a Hakarim has a very cheesy early few levels, and simply having a Pantheon in your team, if you're able to hide out the early vision on the Pantheon and deny your opponent knowledge of where the Pantheon is starting, is going to force King JJ to play so safe in the top lane in case Pantheon goes for a very cheesy early game gank. And in fact, if BKT is able to hide that vision, he might decide to just go for it, because on that Hakarim, you want to be pushing out the wave, you want to be able to bully your opponent in the top lane. And Pantheon can very easily take advantage of that, start the Grom, do the blue buff, hit up the top lane, first blood.
Definitely a viable strategy, but you have to think that, 269, they worked around the lane swap situation quite well in game number 1, using the strong side advantage, picked up the very early dragon, in fact jumped all the way up to, the 3 and then the 5th dragon lead, so clearly they have an eye or a knack to go for those dragons when the opportunity presents itself. Same can't be said for their Baron control, because that went over to BKT, quite unnecessarily, not once but twice. So we'll have to see. I do think that in terms of how the lanes will match up, 269 will be keeping that at the back of their mind, and we'll want King JJ to be as comfortable on his Hecarim as possible. It's going to be fun to see how both of these teams start out, and we should have a very explosive mid-game coming up from 269. I think once they hit those level 6s, those level 11s, pretty much any member on the side of 269 can activate some kind of aggression towards BKT.
I mean, I would have to feel there's a lot more pressure on the side of 269 to make things happen, because the amount of kill pressure there's on the side of BKT, wherever Pantheon visits, he's going to be getting killed. The moment he gets his level 5, level 6, and then BKT on their side, Maokai with the lockdown, Ari, Pantheon goes in, stun someone up, Charm. It's a point blank stun.
There you go. Point blank stuns, which, by the way, G4 has been having some trouble landing. But when it counts, when it gets to getting those team fights and burning crowd control, G4 does a fantastic job of it. So, we are into the loading screen now. The spectator delay has ticked away. And this is, if you're just joining us, folks, the second match, or the second game of match number 1.
All skins versus no skins.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Wow, skin war. 5-0.
5-0. So BKT already has a lead from the start because they went with 5 skins on their side. 3 of the members rocking the platinum border. I can say that's something I share with G4. The platinum border in season 5.
That's quite impressive.
Unfortunately, they don't really play on the Southeast Asian server, which is what we are playing on, which explains the 3-minute delay that we had to talk to previously. But here we are into the game. Flavors, run me through this one.
Alright, folks. Game 2 between BKT as well as 269. BKT currently leading with 1 game in their pocket. Spawning on the red side, it is 269. And on the blue side, it will be BKT. So, 269, they are the only team so far to pick up a clean sweep in Group A from one of their series. That's currently something that BKT might be able to do for themselves if they pick up this game number 2.
Once again, BKT going for a very aggressive 5-man group up into the top side of the map. 269, are they going to spot out this? This is going to be really close. That's haven't seen. He sees Graves. They barely caught them on the edge of division. And now, with that knowledge, 269, they will be able to move in deep into their opponent's jungle and get some wards down. Now, the question is, I wonder if Bangkok Titans were able to spot out their opponents as well. And now we see them moving in deep into their opponent's side of the jungle. Tri-Bosch ward, another ward over there. Let's see if they're going to be going for a lane swap once again.
Alright, so far BKT has been unspotted in their opponent's jungle. Haven't walked over any of the wards placed. But
This might
269
be a
by
5v5,
yeah, by process of elimination should know BKT is in area, and there they go, they walk over that ward. So 269 has perfect knowledge of where BKT is at the moment.
Once again over second ward. Oh, let's just keep it that way. Okay, let's just keep it that way. Oh, never mind. They threw out the saplings. The warder is going to spot it. They're going to know that Penton's starting up on the top side. And Graves appears in the top lane as well. So they're going to be swapping things around. This is rather interesting coming from the Bangkok Titans. Or rather 269 choosing to swap and match the lane matchups. Because usually when you play Silver, you don't want to be facing up against Graves.
Very, very true. But we'll see how 269 works around this. After all, they were the ones that so-called opted into it somewhat. They have now sent King JJ to bottom. He did not need to expend his TP, unlike Warlock, who did. And we're basically just going to have the top and the bottom lane swapped. In the end, we get our 2v2 and our 1v1.
But with inverted lanes in this case and Pantheon, he's going to have a very solid control of the top side of the map. Which means that he can open us up for some very strong control onto the Silver as well as the Annie. We thought this control might be coming down onto the Hacker and preventing him from getting those very aggressive plays onto Warlock's Maokai early on. But now they know that 007X is in the top side of the map. King JJ is going to have a field day on this Maokai. Oh, he sees Heaven! He doesn't... Oh, so close!
Whoa. Okay. Heaven goes up to 5 Ferocity stacks, doesn't decide to double Bola. Not quite enough vision around. Well, that and also not enough damage, honestly speaking.
You can't fight him. As a Rengar, you cannot fight Pantheon at this stage of the game. Even though Heaven is up by a level, the amount of damage that 007X is going to be doing with the Spear Shot as well as the raid buff is just too much for Heaven to deal with. So Heaven's just going to be moving into the bottom side of the map and pick up his opponent's raid buff over here. Oh, he drops the ward. Is he going to wait for it or is he going to start it up?
Looks like he's just going to go for it. I mean, obviously he has no vision on the side of 007X. But if he makes an educated guess, 007X, having just been spotted topside, should be going for the blue buff himself. So nicely done by Heaven. Is going to get his opponent's red buff. Just like that. Has 5 Ferocity stacks. I wonder if he'll hit a lane. Doesn't quite look like it.
I mean, while it looks like Heaven is slightly behind 007X, the fact is he got a much more comprehensive jungle clear. And oh, Scuttercrab ward force him out. 007X looping around the side. Is he going to be going for some counter jungling over here? Not really sure what he's going to be trying to achieve in this case. Loops around. Oh, nope. Surprise. Nobody's there.
Nobody there. So 007X just spending a little too much time in his opponent's jungle. Maybe can get a Gromp now. hesitating quite a fair bit. Looks like he wants to drop down some safety vision for himself first. In the top side, wow, Lloyd as well. Oh, Lloyd just beating onto Celebrity right there. Oh, actually takes 2 tower shots. That's really, really huge. Doesn't have his heal available to him anymore. So, my goodness, a perfect exhaust coming in from Sir to actually halt him under that tower. Take 2 tower shots, which were too many. And Celebrity, with the return Boomerang Blade, actually picking up that first blood.
Careless play coming from Lloyd over there, getting a little bit too greedy, and Celebrity as well as the support, but in the mid lane now, G-Force seem to be in a little bit of trouble, but here comes 007X with the backup. So going back to the top lane over there, Celebrity as well, so very good control of the summoner spells, baiting it out from Lloyd, stunning him right on point under the turret, so definitely comes up big in that one.
And you know, that's going to be absolutely huge, because we talked about how the matchup between Graves and Sivir honestly should be a losing one for Sivir, but with that pickup, she's actually going to be ahead, and that's kind of one of the key, one of the pieces of the puzzle for 269's composition, which is, yeah, Sivir can always press R and be helpful, but if she's pressing R, you know, and being helpful in terms of damage as well, then you have to really worry about not only the front line that's going to be jumping into your face with Lissandra, Hecarim, and Rengar, you've got the Sivir at the back line doing a good amount of damage too.
Hecarim also picks up a very nice CS lead for himself, and 007X forced to smite away the Krog over there, and Celebrity just chunk kick him down to about 20% of his health. Valen spots him out, doing his dragon over here. Haven't taken a fair chunk of damage from this one. Let's see if Valen will be able to do anything to disrupt them. He is only a Janna though. Mid lane is joining the party. Smite comes in and easy dragon for 269. That's dragon number 2 for them. Dragon number 1 for them, sorry.
That's right, first dragon once again in game 1 it was taken, so once again in game 2, first dragon does go over to 269, so looks like they are once again able to find those opportunities. And in the bottom side, actually, we see a flash that was just burnt by Warlock, I believe. Triggered just at the top of the left of my screen, caught it right there, and yeah, Warlock had to burn his flash due to Sir roaming down, so Sir, you know, the first pick, Leona, in game number 1, maybe it didn't bring them the win, but the multiple times he went aggressive. Oh, Beyond actually dodging out the charm right there as G4 goes aggressive back with his Spirit Rush and then forward again. No flash burn on the side of Beyond though. Oh, but aggression coming in from King JJ. Sir doesn't have his stun available. Now he does. Just was one spell off. I think they'll be able to get this. There you go. The Ignite coming in from King JJ to seal the deal. Warlock's flash was burnt as well. So nicely done by Sir. We're just talking about how his Leona, you know, honestly unsuccessfully attempted a lot of aggression in game number 1. In game number 2, Annie, far more dependable with her stuns, gets that flash out the first time she visits and then revisits with her stun ready for the second round where there's no flash available for Warlock.
I mean, 269 doing a fantastic job in the early laning phase of this game. 2 kills to none and having a nice 1,500 gold lead over the opponents at the moment. 007X though, he hasn't been farming, he hasn't been ganking. He's kind of walking around the map aimlessly at the moment on this Pantheon. I kind of have to wonder what was he trying to achieve with this, and how is it he has been finding so little success?
That's right. So the game is, of course, a little bit slower, even though we do have 2 kills already. It's just mostly been lane action in the sense that in terms of rotations or intelligent ventures into the jungle, a little bit different from game number 1, right, where the blue buff was already starting to be contested. This time we see both junglers or both mid laners more or less getting that secured, you know, without any kind of contest. And looks like the Hecarim as well as Maokai have moved back to the top side. King JJ really wants to defend his pink ward, but gets locked down by the twisted advance, and then the Aegis right there from 007X. I think they're able to dive this very, very easily. So, oh, Sir needs to peace out right there. 007X will be able to lock him down with his stun. Of course, G4 has dropped as well, but 269 Sir maybe getting away right now. Beyond trying to play the zoning game, but gets a nice 3-man stun as well as taking out Valen and then bouncing out. Sir is like, I still need your help, bro, but I'm not too sure if that's the right move for Beyond to come back. As of course the blue buff has brought them rather low. Heaven managing to not actually get the 5th ferocity stack. Blue buff very, very strong for Beyond right here. He's going to be recharging his mana. Warlock has no mana left. And my-minded teleport from King JJ went back to base, TP back to join his friends, and a whole bunch of kills coming for 269.
3 for 2 in that very extended fight over there. And here's the thing, G4 found themselves in a very awkward situation. Ate the ultimate gank, coming in from 269's Heaven. And then after the Beyond there with the consistent follow-up. And once again, another kill donated over W7X. Just stays around his jungle for just way too long.
You know, just as I was saying, you know, what happened to the blue buff in Pates? Not only do they have this massive scuffle into the river, right? After that whole aftermath, they managed to pick up the blue buff of the opposing team as well. So 269 pulling BKT's trick right on them. It was BKT, in fact, it was controlling the enemy's blue buff time and time again in game number 1. 269 say, you know, we're not phased by that whatsoever, but once again, G4 finding almost solo kills. Looks like Valen came down for a little bit of an assist. Beyond didn't have his ultimate or flash available, so nicely done by G4 as well as Valen to team up and get that kill for themselves.
I mean, they are just looking out of sorts in this game, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, trying to make all the wrong moves, and 269 definitely credit goes to them. They have to do a very good job. Here comes
the man draw. Oh dear, goodbye Heaven. Alrighty, so he's gonna be spending some time literally in Heaven. Gonna be back in about 17 seconds or so. And Lloyd, my goodness, 90 to 76. It's been that buckshot spam. Out of potions now, but I believe he packed some from his last trip back to base. Really doing a good job despite the 1 kill lead that Celebrity has. It hasn't opened up into any kind of significant item advantage. So Lloyd still being a very, very big pain for Celebrity.
So W7X making his first major play of the game, dropping in. But here comes the Lissandra with the claw. Sees 3 people then decides not to go for it.
A wise move, not diving into 3 members. No towers have fallen just yet. Dragon will be respawning in about 1 minute, and this is slightly similar to game number 1 in the sense that we finally saw our blue buff invade. But in terms of scaling up, both teams really looking to hit some of those items. So Morella Nomicon has been picked up by Beyond right now. Oh, that Hecarim gonna have to peace out, can't stay around the tower, and that should mean the first tier 1 of the game falling in favor of BKT. Oh, and in the mid lane, G4 just gets exploded by, let's see, how many ultimates were used? 1, 2, yeah, 3 ultimates used on G4. So this is what we were talking about in the pre-game J-Storm. If you can control G4, BKT as a whole, you know, you call them out of sorts. I would agree with you in the sense that if G4 doesn't have a good game, BKT as a whole tends to struggle quite a bit.
Rather back and forth from the early stages, BKT just behind by about 1,000 gold right now, doing a fairly good job of evening up the 500 gold from what we saw previously. The 269. First dragon at 6 minutes, dragon number 2. It's gonna be taken by them at 13 minutes.
Alright, dragon number 2 taken after a very, very quick and clean kill in the middle. 269 definitely doing what it takes to deserve the dragon right there. G4 will be a little bit sad, of course, but it's just timings like those that you have to watch out for, guys. You cannot afford to drop your mid lane presence when dragon is about to come up, you know, within 30 seconds or so. That was the mistake of G4, although how much of a mistake it was from him, as it was, you know, Tibbers, Rengar ultimate as well as Lissandra, it's debatable.
The game's gonna be slowing down for a little bit at the moment. 269, they've gotten what they wanted. They've picked up the second dragon of the game. Going for 5 dragons is definitely a possibility for themselves right here. But on the side of BKT right now, they're gonna be feeling pressured a little bit to try and make some plays against their opponents. Not sure if they are scaring themselves into thinking that they're really far behind right now. But there we go, G4.
Oh my goodness, G4 gets knocked down once again by 2 ultimates, and just like that, he's taken out. So the pick composition, you know, we talked about how BKT played their pick composition, which was not enough denial of the vision. 269 is doing that, although you have to wonder what exactly was G4 and W7X doing in that area anyways. This time it's Sir that gets picked off. No more Tibbers available to him. Celebrity activates his ultimate, but his compatriot has already fallen, so it's more just in retreat rather than aggression. But yeah, rather awkward positioning from G4 right there. Maybe wanted to make a roam down bottom, but did not respect the dark areas of the enemy's territory, and, you know, out-jumped Tibbers and out-jumped the Frozen Tomb from Lissandra, and that was lights out for him.
And this top lane, despite Warlock getting the gank and some of the jungle attention, King JJ still just simply bullying him out, taking a large CS lead, 20 CS over his opponent laner at the moment. Warlock once again struggling to get out the role of ages to use Hathaway. In fact, going for Glacier Shroud, in fact. So we might see him go for more defensive build and go for Righteous Golem instead.
269 picking up, or rather BKT picking up their second tower of the game. There's the Rengar ultimate, the flash coming in. Can't quite land the bolus, it seems. There's the TP in. Heaven has been slowed down, but look at this Hecarim with home guards coming in so fast. Warlock once again very ahead of his team, getting very low. A nice ultimate from Lloyd, but look at the pushback from Valen, doing a good job to keep the members alive. Lloyd going very aggressive, kiting forward, in fact, wants to get the Hecarim off them, but the Hecarim is such a beast. The Q doing all the AoE damage he needs, but not quite tanky enough yet. G4 manages to snipe him up from the back. Triple kill coming in for 007X. Is there enough damage to take out Beyond? Looks like he still has ultimate as well as his flash. G4 not enough mana to continue the chase. But overall, a very timely teleport coming in from Warlock. In anticipation perhaps of King JJ's arrival. I mean, when you have the home guards TP, you have to be very decisive with your own teleport.
Bangkok Titans, I have to say that for all the mess ups in the early game, this made it up for them, not only in my eyes, but in terms of the goal count as well. That fight was very well taken, going in there, measuring out very well placed Monsoon, as well as control coming from Valen. The starter of the pick of Surf, and this is the thing that I feel that BKT needs to do. They need to be finding the initiative of the 269. Oh, man drop once again.
Oh, the flash charm coming in. That is the confidence from BKT G4. It's not the first time he's flashed and used his skill shots right there. Nicely done, because as you can see, Beyond still has his flash as well as his frozen tomb. So a flash and then a self-invulnerability on himself would have put him within his allies' reach. So a nice job by G4 to capture that opportunity before it escaped. So really nice job by them, and they rewarded with their third tower of the game.
So what I was saying is that BKT, what they need to do is they need to take the initiative in these kind of situations. They can't just wait around, hope to jostle around for position, and then let the Silver Annie engage into them. Because it feels like the aggressors got a huge advantage in this scenario simply because of the type and nature of team compositions they're facing off each other.
Very true. And if you look at the item build that 007X is actually going for, he has opted for that Aegis very early on. So he wants that team fight, presence, that team fight buff. And I think once again, it's just BKT, showing yet another indicator that, we need to play for the team. We need to play for the team. Looks like the build coming out from Valen as well with the Kindle Gem should be leading up to, of course, one of the more supportive items, not something like, say, Magi Soul Stealer, really just building for the team.
Well, as a Janna against this type of team composition, there's no way you can go for the Magi Soul Stealer. In fact, I'm kind of wondering why she hasn't tried to rush the Mikhail's Crucible, considering the amount of lockdown that is present in 269. We saw Valen go for that in the previous game, worked out fantastically for him. But now this game up against the Annie, up against the Lissandra, you're gonna need the Magi more than ever.
Oh, G4 gets locked down every time that Ahri's flash is not available to her. It's been the Rengar out, into the Lissandra ult, and it's just so easy to get the lockdown. Looks like Celebrity actually just activated his ultimate in the bottom lane. Heaven here standing on top of a pink board, so both Tibbers as well as the On the Hunt activated on the side of 269. The flash was burnt from Lloyd. We can see that just ticking down about now. So some aggression being leveled at Lloyd as well as Valen, and of course this has got to be a bit of a worry. Lloyd, once he reaches that Brutalizer, not only will his auto attack start to hurt a whole bunch of the Infinity Edge, the Brutalizer will make his burst that much more incredible.
So Bangkok Titans, they see 269 backing away, taking some time to return to base, and Dragon just spawned. Let's see if BKT has the guts to put a trigger into this one, and it looks like they will be starting up the Dragon itself. And 269, for all we complimented them about the Dragon control, I have to say that this is a rather sloppy mistake coming from them.
Very true. I mean, you can see a line of wards kind of leading from their inner jungle bush all the way into the river and then into the enemy's territory, but with regards to the Dragon area itself, 269 clearly dropped the ball right here. They did manage to get top tower, so 2 towers in favor of 269, or rather two towers taken down by 269. 2-3 in the favor of BKT. So the objective game getting closer as well. BKT still ahead in towers, but 269 ahead in dragons.
So once again, both teams just backing off and farming the jungles. Once again, splitting 1-2-2, 1-2-1 all over the map right now. Just trying to get as much farm as possible. It looks like both of them are looking to get the next round of power spikes before they enter any major engagements. 269 hiding in the brush, very sneaky play, maybe trying to pick up G4, who has been dying a fair bit this game. Every time he appears in the lane, it's either Annie flashing in to drop the Tibbers into him, Lissandra there with the Frozen Tome, or Heaven just popping his ultimate, or combination of more than one of those.
Exactly. I mean, it's the way that teams identify BKT's playstyle, which is, you know, G4 really is the activator for a lot of the playmaking. And on the hunt popped right now. Nice spell shoot to actually stop the initial slow coming out. Still lands the stun, but G4, oh my goodness, 7X just gets mauled to death by the TP home guard from King JJ. And looks like he's still on the chase right here. A good kite back from Lloyd. Where's the rest of the team though? Lissandra coming in right now. Manages to lock down Valen into the Frozen Tube. There is Rengar from the side. Warlock once again just isolated from the rest of the team. That has not worked out well for BKT. And it looks like BKT stretched themselves too thin. 269 will be taking the tier 1 off of that.
I mean, there was just poor play coming from 7X. It was just uncoordinated. And the man drop coming in from the Pantheon. There was just no backup for him the moment he led it. He went into the Sivir, he did pop the spell shield, but the response from 269 just on point. They baited them in, they had the TP home guards coming in. And I have to say, BKT, they need to stop looking for these synced up teleport timings to fight, because Hecarim has just such a big advantage in these situations.
We saw 7X trying to, you know, make his way towards Celebrity with his second round of cooldowns, or his second cooldown of the stun. Basically overextends that little bit and runs face first into King JJ, charging at him with the home guard TP. Absolutely destroyed. So talk about all the AoE or the team fighting that 269 can just kind of throw at BKT, and we're seeing that, you know, home guard TP or the Annie ultimate. I mean, there's just so many ways really for 269 to get a favorable fight, you know, 5v4 right off the bat.
King JJ hiding the brush here once again. This Hecarim making lots of work happen for them in the series against AP as well, when they were able to secure the Hecarim.
Oh yeah.
I have to say, they put on a very strong performance of him. And now BKT, they let Hecarim through. And it looks like they're struggling a little bit to deal with it at the moment. In fact, Warlock going for the Captain Planet build. A little bit of everything.
Warlock,
not too much of anything.
Yeah, Warlock. Oh, there's a flash stun coming in. All the AoE coming in. Valen does a good job resetting fight, but on the hunt just means that they won't stop coming. 269 barrels through the remaining members of BKT, but now Warlock has joined the fight. Manages to pick one up at the back, and the tower at the back of BKT, giving them that little bit of room to recover and resurge towards their opponents. Celebrity at the back now. Charm hits King JJ. A good amount of damage. Lloyd still kiting away, but he has to watch out for the bush. G4 not able. Oh, the flash to drag the Orb of Deception, true damage to cancel out King JJ's life right there. And the last bit of mana he has, he expends on a very efficient charm to lock down Celebrity.
It's like I said, whoever finds the initiative in these fights are gonna have so much more than their opponents in this case. 269, they went in there, served fantastic flash Tibbers, and just look at the way the rest of the ultimates piled on the hunt to enable them to get into position. The Frozen Claw in, locks them up with the Ring of Frost into the Glacier Prison, into the Frozen Tomb, sorry. Glacier Prison, that's the Chronics out.
That's right.
So, BKT though, they lent a fantastic ultimate, but the fact is that because BKT weren't able to be the aggressors in this case, it wasn't enough. You want to be going in there, killing off someone, and then using the Jenna ultimate to just blow back everyone else away, and then taking your lead and cashing that in for yourself. And now 269, they're able to win these fights simply because they are making better use of their aggression.
Right, and if you take a look at the vision as well, I mean, 269, we complimented them for removing or denying a lot of the vision required to play the pick composition, but in terms of activating the aggression themselves, they honestly didn't have too many wards on that side of the map. So Warlock did a good job, you know, coming in from the back with his flank, was able to disrupt the backline a whole bunch. And then of course with, you know, unknown members being backed up by the tower, the tier 2 tower, it looked like 269 wasn't sure, you know, how far they could chase. And that uncertainty cost them as they wavered a bit back and forth. Do we go farther? You know, how many people are waiting for us? Do we go back? Do we just all retreat? So 269 do have to be a little bit careful. They definitely have a lot of ways to lock members down. But they need to know what they're getting into after they lock, say, 1 or 2 members down.
I like the lane wards that have been dropped down by 269. Rather inconspicuous at the moment, just sitting down there and giving 269 all this visual of BKT and use all the movements towards them, and it makes it very easy for the support to just simply move in and place wards wherever they want to, because they don't have to worry about the Ari, because they know that she's in the middle. Here comes Hecarim.
Hecarim as well as Rengar. Rengar already using his Thrill of the Hunt on the Hunt pop as well, so 2 rather expensive ultimates used right there. The hunts, if you will. Did they have enough effect to deter BKT from this dragon? That's the million-dollar question. It looks like the answer is no. So 2 ultimates down. Will 269 stay or not?
Speed Shrine is available for BKT, so if they want to choose to fight, the Speed Shrine is going to help them a lot, especially 007X into getting to range, and it's going to be helping them juke around lots of things. The any ultimate.
Here comes 269. Only Warlock has been locked down. They do secure the dragon on the side of 269. King JJ in the mix of it all. A good Sonya's from Beyond to block out a lot of damage. Warlock's ultimate doing a whole bunch of damage though. Pretty much circling his entire team. Look at how healthy Lloyd is at the back. He's cleaning up right now. He's been untouched for the majority of this fight. And team fighting for BKT once again coming up very, very strong. They don't drop a single member.
So BKT, they just go in, they get the clean up the Speed Shrine so critical to Z1 269. They tried to engage through it, but BKT, they had the vision, they saw it coming, and the major ultimates weren't able to land onto anyone. BKT playing the fight fantastically, and now they are able to translate that into Baron for themselves.
That's right, I mean, a heavy, heavy price for 269 to pay. They did get the 3rd dragon, but they gave away 4 members as well as the Baron, and we saw how easily BKT pushed with the Baron buff in game number 1. It's not quite the same affairs here, although I would say that the wave clear a little more consistent since they have Sivir with her bouncing blades and her boomerang blades. But I still have to think that the tier 2 towers, if game 1 was any indicator, BKT won't be afraid whatsoever to just go for them.
Oh, Warlock actually deviating a little bit from the Captain Planet build. He didn't go for the Earth, Wind, Water, Fire, and Heart, getting all 5 elements before finally summoning Captain Planet. In fact, he's going to be completing the Frozen Heart first, so I thought he was going to be getting a little bit more additional items before he completes that one. But nonetheless, still fine with that. Gets the Frozen Heart down. That's going to be reducing the damage that will be coming from Heaven. But I think what is most important is that they are able to find a solution to King JJ. And I have to say, well, they have been playing around the fights pretty okay for now. That wasn't the TP home guards.
It was definitely not the TP home guards. You will absolutely know when that TP home guards hit you, because your health bar will disappear in just a second. You blink and boom, it hit so hard you pretty much are zoned out of the fight, if not just completely dead after the follow-up from his ultimate. And folks, we don't know what the cause of the disruption is just yet. Hopefully we can get word on that and figure out why exactly we are into the pause screen. But so far, we can recap the game a little bit, because it's gotten very, very close. 16 to 15 kill score, 3 and 3 towers. The Dragons are a bit of discrepancy, but 16 to 15 as well. So really, really close game we have on our hands now.
So between these two teams, it has been a very back and forth game. 269 and BKT, both of them going for big compositions, and 269 being the aggressor in most of them, and that has allowed them to come out ahead. But BKT, they finally find their chops, find and catch at 269, getting a little bit too overzealous on the aggression, turning them around in a fantastic team fight, 4-4-0, translating that into a Baron for themselves.
Alright, so just a little bit of a recap for you folks, and now we're going to be jumping back into game. Looks like Sir has fixed his has corrected his connection, excuse me, and everything is going a-okay for them. Have to wonder whether or not 269's King JJ will have any time to complete his defensive items. There we go, just as I say that, he gets his Frozen Heart as well. And we talked about how BKT builds, right? We talked about the Captain Planet build for Warlock, and you can kind of see how that difference was affected, where he says, I want to get the team fighting item as quickly as possible. And that played a big factor in that last dragon fight. Now, maybe it'll be matched somewhat by King JJ's own Frozen Heart now. We'll have to see, because here is the tier 2 push.
Charm barely misses out there. 007X clearing out the pink ward at the side. Turret number
quite
1.
greedy actually by W2D1 right there. Just saying, hey guys, I'm on top of a ward. You know, please don't engage onto my team. And you know, thankfully for BKT, 269 actually kindly acceded, and that is one free tier 2 tower.
They might be hiding around here to catch out careless rotations from the rest of the 269 squad. They don't have full vision onto it though just yet, so they're gonna be hitting into the bottom lane. And with this Baron buff, these tier 2 towers, they just fall so quickly, so hard to hold on to them.
Yeah, dangerous even to get Sivir to that wave. Of course, Sivir doesn't have... Oh wow, are they really gonna dive this? Looks like they are indeed, or perhaps it's just for zoning purposes. If anything, BKT, ooh, looks like we're into another pause. And we'll see what exactly is going on right here. But definitely we can see BKT not afraid to expend an ultimate or two to just get those tier 2s for free.
I mean, I have to say, it feels like 269 playing a little bit scared at the moment, because that dive in by W2D1 could be very easily punished by the rest of the squad. King JJ as well as the rest of the counter initiation, especially with the amount of lockdown 269 had. The moment they saw the circle was actually a very good green light for Heaven to actually pop the ultimate and try to rush into the opponent team, because that was already one frontliner down, jumping into a very awkward situation, and then after he only has to go past Warlock in order to get into either G4 or Lloyd. But 269 they decides, okay, they have the Baron buff, let's play it safe for a little bit, wait for that to expire, we concede the 3 turrets to them. Hopefully they don't get an inhibitor, and then maybe we work with that when we have a 4,000 gold deficit.
Yeah, I mean, the way you described 269 just being scared, I think is perfect right there, because as you said, that indicator, you know, it did show that W2D1 was quite far out from the rest of the team. And you know, I would argue that you don't even need to expend the ultimate from rank, or just, you know, toss the empowered Bola on there, the Ring of Frost, you know, non-ultimate skills, even an anti-stun, a normal regular anti-stun, not the Tibber stun. That's enough crowd control to, you know, maybe even get that guy down. And then you have a 4v5, sure, against a Baron team, but that's an option for you, and 269 didn't take it.
The more magic damage on the 269 squad now is also quite a lot as well. It feels like they aren't showing the Annie enough respect. Alongside the Lissandra, most of them itemizing towards heavily towards armor, but they do have the double locket available for themselves. And I still have to wonder, where is Valence, Mikhail's Crucible, 0-2 and 13? Maybe the Magi's we're talking about might have worked out for him.
Maybe so, but interestingly enough, he's not only picked up the Ruby Crystal, he's picked up the second locket for BKT. So, as you said, that magic damage that can come through on the side of 269 is going to be cut by quite a considerable amount. Folks, we have received official word that 269 are restarting their computers due to a connection error. So we'll be going for a short break. We'll be right back in just a bit.
Every child in Valorant has heard the tale before about the cursed mummy boy who felt his heart no more. So sad and lorn, the helpless lad, Amumu was his name. He ventured out to find a friend and learn about his bane.
So here we are back into the game. Now we have once again BKT sieging onto the base with the Baron buff and 269. They're still needing to find that engage. I would think that dropping a ward around the flanks might have been a good idea so that they can get a good engage in with the TP home guards on the hacker rim. But let's see what 269 will be able to do. This one looks like BKT then not going to be going for the tier 2 at the top lane. Creeper is pushing in. They want to go for the inhibitor turret itself. Flies out, doesn't find anyone.
Ooh, that Orb of Deception does find Sir though, and Beyond also getting tagged by the buckshot from Lloyd. Just absolutely melted right there. BKT, you know, in game number 1 with the Baron buff, they pushed only onto the tier 2s and then got every single tier 2 before going all the way to the inhibitors. But maybe with the hesitance that 269 showed, you know, not willing to even collapse onto 007's, you know, overextension of his ultimate. I think they're playing with a little more confidence. From the side though, Beyond actually not going to go in. G4 gets locked down so quickly. Flashes out. There's the heal as well as the lock coming out from Valen. So he manages to keep G4 alive, but that was a very, very expensive save. They do manage to lock down King JJ. A massive collateral damage coming in to lower the back line of 269. They've been zoned out of the fight, which means that Beyond is all alone. 7X flashing in, trying to land a spear toss. Not finding it, but they have done enough. BKT has done enough to crack open the base. Oh, the ultimate actually back available for 7X. But really more just of a zoning or flexing of the muscles than any kind of real aggression.
Inhibitor is picked up by Bangkok Titans. I have to say, credit goes to 269 for trying to find the engage on that one. Beyond hesitated a little bit despite getting good Frozen Claw in, but Bangkok Titans, I have to say, once again, the Janna pick coming up huge for them. Valen being able to get the QD's engage. Now he doesn't even have the kills up just yet, but the Monsoon dealing so much healing right now. 2 ranks in the ultimate already, was able to heal up G4 right enough to save him from the death that he was facing.
Yeah, so clearly the double locket play coming in very well. 7X will say, okay, I'll shield, you know, Maokai and me, and maybe, you know, even Lloyd if we're forward, and then Valen, you get whoever has the, you know, retreat. And that definitely did stretch 269 a little bit in terms of how far forward they went to try and get G4. I mean, we saw Beyond even positioning very, very aggressively to try and land, you know, the extension of the ice shard with the angle he went for. But that put him very, very far forward past the front line. So at the end of the day, the team fighting for BKT seems to be their strength once again. And 269, despite having a good amount, you know, of control and lockdown that they have from all these champions, if they don't close in or get that one kill within those 2 or 3 seconds of opening the fight, seems to swing in favor of BKT.
Now BKT just split 1-3 and 1. 7X showing himself in the mid lane. 3 champions in the jungle. It looks like they will be rolling up to the top side. 7X gets caught out.
Right, so it looks like On the Hunt was popped right there. And they did manage to lock down 7X. A nice stun from Sir to delay the damage coming in from Lloyd as well as G4. But over the wall goes G4. Lloyd actually getting locked down right here. Valen healing him up quite nicely. This narrow corridor. Uh-oh, Lloyd gets locked down by the Frozen 2, but he's still alive. He's kiting back fantastically. Flashes over the wall actually. How has he survived all the ultimates being thrown at him? My goodness. Once again, BKT somehow, some way, only lose the guy that was caught out and then swing a 5v4. Incredible.
I mean, this is one of those moments where 7X, he knows he screwed up, but then after he sees the fantastic play that came in, especially from Valen, once again, those monsters just doing so much, keeping Lloyd alive, keeping G4 alive, and splitting up 269. 7X just turns around, types in all caps, worth.
All chat, worth. Absolutely right. And, you know, credit to Lloyd as well as G4 to just split the focus of 269 right there. Again, I was really worried for BKT at that moment because, again, these narrow corridors, when you're talking about the AoE from Lissandra, Sivir, you know, really all the champions on the side of 269, except maybe Rengar, packing that formidable AoE. You know, I think it was a clever move from G4 to say, all right, I'm going to, you know, leap over the wall of my Spirit Rush, and then they have to choose. Either they go for Lloyd or they go for me. And it was still scary because actually 269 did make the choice. They all went for Lloyd. We saw the Frozen Tomb on him. But he did a fantastic job kiting away and even used his flash over the wall to escape at the last second. So really, really great presence of mind from Lloyd to position in such a way. giving him a way out, and G4 of course setting up that the positioning of that fight. Just fantastic team fighting once again from BKT.
Now Baron has spawned with the super minions pushing into the bottom side of the map against 269. The Bangkok Titans, they might be able to take this opportunity to pick up the Baron for themselves. Lissandra shows herself in the bottom lane. Super minions knocking on the door at the moment. And AP mages don't really do too well against clearing those super minions.
Yeah.
They start up the Baron. Could have started a little bit earlier when Lissandra was near the bottom, but we see accuracy going to be going for the home guards teleport in. Bangkok Titans, they back away from this one. They see the Rengar ultimate. Everyone's just on the run right now. Or are they going to be turning around for this one? This is buying lots of time for the super minutes at the bottom side of the map. Once again, they clear out the wards and just keep 269 here, keep them busy, keep doing the Baron over here. And the super minutes in the bottom side of the map are going to be causing 269 so much problems. And once again, they started up 269 coming in once again. W2D1 might be caught out over here.
Oh.
They might find Lloyd.
There's the on the hunt. The fight has broken out. A fantastic flash coming in from Surt, but there's not enough damage. Lloyd just explodes beyond before he can even use an ultimate. My goodness, this fight is definitely going in favor of BKT. The super minions already in the base. And look at that, BKT, they don't need the Baron actually, but it looks like they want to go out in style, so they are going to take it. Death timer is still very long. Are they really just going to let the super minions win the game for them along with the Baron buff? Oh, there is the ultimate from W2D1. Finally, can't use it as in, or can't overextend, because hey, guess what? Everybody's already dead. So 27-16, 35 minutes in, BKT with commanding teamfight presence close out game number 2 to bring this series to 2-0 for themselves. A clean sweep.
Very good control of the game there. The MVP definitely has to go to Valen. Those monsoons as well as his ability to reset the fight is just right on point, preventing the Hacker from doing too much damage. And just look at the last team fight. The charm landing on to Beyond, stopping from using the Zonya, stopping him from using the ultimate, and he just went in. He didn't even get a Ring of Frost off. He just went in and died.
Exploded. Absolutely key from G4 as well as, Lloyd to burst all that damage. Didn't allow the, the chaining of the crowd control to ever happen and swing the team fight in favor of 269. So once again, BKT seems to be making the case for themselves as one of the strongest team fighting teams in the GPL, and a well-deserved 2-0 win for them. Guys, we'll be back for the next series in just a moment, but for now,